Lyrics and Lies. Shades on the mic, Money Green.
So fast.
Getting right into it. And it's bittersweet because the guy who said, I feel so freaky tonight. That dude is in trouble. I mean, he's been in, in and out of trouble a little bit and having stuff said about it. But now there's this 5 or 6 part documentary.
It has hit the fan.
Yes. And it makes you feel funny when you hear his music. This documentary, and it's blowing the lid off of a whole bunch of stuff that we assumed, or some people say, no, it's not like that. No, he fixed, he changed. That was 20, 25 years ago. Nah, he cool now. He got himself together. Mm-mm. Oh my God. Oh man. Look, this stuff is mind blowing. I hear you calling. See how music still. Oh my goodness.
But now we see how some of those songs got created.
I believe and it's interesting how that was created. But let's get into it. Surviving R. Kelly.
Woo.
So we saw parts.
Lifetime.
We saw parts 1 and 2.
Yes.
R. Kelly having issues, being molested. Uh-huh. And I saw an interview that Tasha K did with his brother Kerry. Kerry said that they were molested by their big sister when they were probably in single digits of age.
Yeah,
6, 7, 8 years old. They were molested by their older sister, who was much older. She's a teenager. And they say hurt people, or people who are molested may sometimes have their hormones sped up because of the molestation.
And he did say that on the Tavis Smiley show.
Yes, and then they end up being so sexual that they start performing sex acts on other people. And R. Kelly has highly sexual music. And
highly sexual.
And he's really into young girls. And I was into 14 and 15-year-old girls when I was 14 and 15. I was. But that's my age. When I was in, 8th grade and the girls were 14, that's what I was into. When I was 9th grade, I'm into 15.
But you're a boy. See, when girls mature faster than men, younger girls love older men.
That's true. But I'm saying, boys are normally into girls their age or a year above. Mm-hmm. Maybe a year behind. But once you get around 18, when you're 17, you probably shouldn't have any interest in a 14-year-old. You shouldn't, regardless of how fast she is or how interested she is, or even if this little 14-year-old girl tries to pursue you, or 15. When you get 18 and 19, you shouldn't want to deal with a 14 and 15-year-old. And that was R. Kelly's thing. He loved young girls. And the older he got, his taste or his preference in women didn't change. So you would think if they were 4 years younger than him, if he's 18 and they're 14, you would think that when he's 25, he would like woman that's 21. Mm-hmm. You would think that, logically speaking. But he's 25 and he still likes 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. And he's 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and he still likes 14, 15, 16-year-olds or what have you. Now, as a brief disclaimer, it must be recognized that every state has the age of consent. So if you have sex with a woman, or you got to call her a woman, if she's 16 and it's legal in this particular state, then you have to recognize her as quote unquote a woman, even though she's not mature to most of us. So even if you're 35, it's legal for you to pull up on this 16-year-old girl who's from this particular state, because that's the age in that state. However, it may be nasty as hell, or certain other states have different, So I went down the list while I'm watching the documentary. In a lot of states, I would say maybe half the states in the United States, the age of consent is 16. That's what I came across. And you have a lot of 17s and then a few 18s, which surprised me because I thought there would be a whole bunch of 18s. And then a few more 17s and then like a little sprinkle of 16s. But there are a lot of 16s. And that was shocking. But even with it being legal, to me, it's still nasty to me for a person for a grown man, especially when you hit 20, 21 and above. It's nasty to me to still want to be with somebody who's 15 or 16. But that's me. And the older the guy gets, and it's still around that age. So, is there anything you want to pick up on?
No, you're doing fine. I'm not ready to chime in yet. I got some other places I'm
We had to get to the areas that really upset you. But what hit me was when they talked about him being in school and who taught him music, and they talked about the guy, and the guy said, my grandmother taught not only R. Kelly, but she taught
Shaka Khan,
and I don't know, with John Legend or somebody else, but she went through a few other popular people. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. His grandmother was a great woman, and she was a great singing teacher, whatever. And then they showed her. I thought she passed away or something.
Me too.
They showed her, and she's on there getting. I said, oh, this is going to be a bad documentary for him. If they bring out this old lady, and she's saying, I told him to stay away from them young girls.
Yeah, and she said, and you already knew he was doing suggestive songs because she even had to say something to him about, oh, we can't sing that in here. That's inappropriate. You can't sing that kind of way in here. She even got on him about it. So as we could see, it started at an early age.
So once she began, I said, oh my goodness, R. Kelly's in trouble. You got me calling him Robert. I said, R. Kelly's in trouble.
But you're doing the right thing because from what the documentary pointed out, Robert and R. Kelly are two different people.
Well, they can say that all they want, but we know they're the same goddamn person. Two nasty ass people. Two nasty ass. Both of them just nasty. Some nasty stuff. So let's talk about the first girl, which I think her name is Lizette, down in Miami. Now, Lizette, and here's my second disclaimer. The first disclaimer is different states have different ages of consent to have sex with, teenagers or whatever. Different ages of consent. Mm-hmm. So if it's illegal in New York to have sex with a 16-year-old, but it's legal in Illinois, that's just how the laws are. So if that man does that in New York, he can get locked up. If he does it in Indiana or whatever, it's legal. So you can call him nasty, but it's legal.
And she was 17.
Now, Lizette is the one from Florida. The age of consent in Florida, I believe, is 17.
Yeah, so she was 17.
And she was 17, I believe.
She was.
So that was legal. However, and this is why I say this is my second disclaimer, he's not guilty of statutory rape, I believe. I believe in Florida was 17. Mm-hmm. But even in cases when he's not guilty of statutory rape, he's guilty of abuse.
Right.
But there's no law against that. There's no law against him telling her to be quiet, don't speak to this person, shut up over here, I don't want to hear a word from you, don't talk to the band, don't talk. There's no law against that. There's no law against her wanting to be an entertainer and him saying, all right, you can be an entertainer, I help you with your singing career, and him never doing it, him dangling that carrot in front of her. There's no law against that. It tells you a lot about that person's character and how much of a lowlife they can be, but that's not legal. So, my bad, it's not illegal. Right. So he didn't do anything to her illegal if she was of consent. If she was of the age of consent. He was just a bad person to her, and he was just very abusive to her.
Correct.
Did he push her or did he jack her up?
She grabbed her arm, grabbed her up.
Okay. So that's assault. So if you want to get with the assault thing, I understand that. Now, the next woman was Aaliyah. I believe Aaliyah came maybe after her. Well, I don't know if Aaliyah came before or after. Aaliyah was clearly statutory rape.
15.
Clearly. Even if she was 16. In that state, in Chicago, Illinois, it's still statutory rape. So he's guilty of that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was never brought to trial. The parents didn't say anything. And we wonder why the parents didn't say anything. So, evidently, you would think either the parents were protecting their daughter's career and protecting her image, because they ended up getting married. And then they got
just going to make that point.
Then they got annulled a couple of months later, what have you.
And because all their records was falsified, too.
The marriage certificate.
The marriage certificate was falsified.
Right. They probably had bad information, said she was 18 and he was 27. Mm-hmm. Which would put him 9. But being 27 to 18-year-old, that's still bad.
Looking wrong.
To me, that's still bad. But the parents didn't say anything. So either them parents were paid off and they were in on it, or they were just trying to protect their daughter. But, like I said, we'll talk about that later. And eventually he talked about getting Aaliyah pregnant.
She had a miscarriage.
She had a miscarriage?
Mm-hmm.
So the personal assistant said Aaliyah was pregnant by R. Kelly. And R. Kelly came to him. He was worried. And R. Kelly clearly loved her. But he's in love with somebody that's underage.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe he had the consent of her parents. For real. The mother said it's not true. She didn't have sex with them. She was everywhere they went. She was always on tour with them. And if that were true, then she wouldn't have been able to get married.
Right.
Without them knowing about it, because they would have been there. And she would have been on that tour bus. But, and also the girl said she snuck them out. They snuck Aaliyah out of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So in them cases, I guess the parents could have been there just in a different room. Then you got the woman in California. I think it was California.
Was that before the dancer?
His wife.
Right, because the first lady that you just mentioned in Miami,
mm-hmm.
she, remember, a year went by before she even knew he got married.
All right.
He was married.
So his wife is Andrea.
Right.
Dancer, bomb body. I remember seeing her body when she was on, what's it, Celebrity X's or something? I think VH1 had a reality show called Celebrity X. They had Eddie Murphy's ex-wife, mm-hmm. Nicole Murphy, Prince's old wife, mm-hmm. May or Mai or whatever. And they had Andrea Kelly, and they showed her body on that show with her and all them dances, and she is real lean, short, mm-hmm. and got that ass like I don't know if she got an onion ass or a hard ass, but it's a little bubble. It pops out. But anyway,
thank you. Thank you for that.
But yeah, she's built, and she's a dancer. She's still built. But she was having a rough time. I know she couldn't eat when she wanted to eat. She had to ask for permission to get something. Like,
yeah, and permission to come downstairs and look at TV with them.
Oh my goodness.
She couldn't talk to nobody either. She couldn't talk to the band. She couldn't talk to people either. She wasn't able to talk to anybody as well. And he had it set up when the dancers was in the room, the background singers was in the room, and no one was supposed to interact with each other.
Right. And all that shifted when Sparkle came. Sparkle came and said, when she realized that people weren't allowed to talk to her, she went out of her way to start talking to people. And of course she can sing, but it may be that R. Kelly was trying to do to her what she was doing, what he did to everybody else. And he was unable to because Sparkle wasn't having it.
Yeah, she wasn't having it. And she said she wasn't having it.
Yeah, you can tell. And he probably figured it out and was like, she ain't worth the trouble. But that song they put out was the bomb.
But he did everything. She said she did nothing on that song. He wrote the song. He put the choreograph together. He put how he wanted the video to be.
Yeah, that's all legal.
Everything.
That's all
no,
legal.
But I'm saying she said she had no input in that. He did everything. But that was a clue of how he was very He wanted to make sure everything go his way.
And that's cool. He's a perfectionist.
And it's nothing wrong being a perfectionist, but that shows something too of his personality, his character, of being somebody. Look how he talked to the women. He doesn't want them talking to anybody but him. So what does that show?
That's only cool if it's a bad person. Because, and so I don't hold any of that against him. I don't have those rules when I do a production. But if that were Quincy Jones with the same philosophy and same rules, and Quincy has an impeccable reputation. People say, "Oh, hey, Quincy is on point," because that's why his music sounds so shocking. Because everybody stays about their business.
But he wasn't very. What is the word I'm thinking of? I can't. That's not surfacing right now. But the way that Sparkle was talking about that he was there. It was all about nobody else's input could be put into this at all. And I'm not saying that Quincy Jones creatively I got it, but he wanted to own it. It was just about what he wanted.
And that's cool. That's cool. That's cool with any artist. And that's super legal.
But to be honest, that Sparkle song was hers first. He wrote it for her, and then he added himself into the song.
Yeah, but he still wrote it. And he still had the deal. And he's still the gatekeeper. So anything that she wanted done, she had to go through him or hit the road and try to find somewhere else. But she got her foot in the door with him in Chicago. But I say that because Q-Tip is similar of A Tribe Called Quest when it comes to create music. I just threw his name out there. But if he has a vision and he's hearing this song in his head this way, and he hearing this tune this way, and this riff this way, that's what he's rolling with when he gets in the studio.
And that's why him and Fife bump is.
Yeah, and see, but Q-Tip is a good guy. He doesn't have all this other baggage with him of taking advantage of women and being abusive and being a molester.
The word was controlling.
Right,
he's very controlling.
Right. That's cool.
And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be controlling like you were speaking about Q-Tip, but I think his controlling went beyond it. You saw it in how he controlled everything, and the music was the same way he did these women. That's what I'm saying. That was the parallel thing.
That's what I'm saying. So
it's
when you
parallel.
talk about, so the woman, we getting back to the abuse of the woman. That's what makes it bad that he did all this other stuff in these other areas, because it reflected, like you said. If his personal life didn't reflect that, then it would be cool, because you would say, damn, he's putting all this good music out and these great shows. That's because he's a drill sergeant. He's controlling. He doesn't take any stuff. He's real serious about his music and his art. So that's why he's like, and people be like, okay, all right. But off stage, he's locking people in closets and doing
bedrooms and studios.
Well, that's not freaky. I like that though. If I had a studio and I was an artist, having a bedroom off to the side wouldn't be bad, because even if you're not a sexual person like R. Kelly, that's still a quick place you can go to get some sleep. Or I would probably have two, because say I'm in the studio and Angela Bassett.
You just want to use Angela Bassett because of how you feel about her.
I'm serious.
I mean, let's move on.
Well,
Don't be trying to get you always throw Angela Bassett in anytime you want to. You always try to throw her in here.
Let's say Jasmine Sullivan. Let's say Jasmine Sullivan.
Another one. Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Teja Moses. Let's say Teja Moses comes to the studio.
I have a new name for 2019.
That's my baby. She's been my baby.
That's the first time you mentioned her on the show.
I mentioned her before, just went over your head. I probably just said Teja. He was like, what the hell is he talking about? It's a different kind of name, Teja. T-E-E-D-R-A, Moses. Voice like an angel. And just as sassy and wild and sweet as can be. Anyway, if she were to come, and she said, Marlon, I've been on the plane for such and such 3 hours. I've been so tired. Okay, let's try to do this song with them. I'm like, you know what? There's a room. See that door right there? There's a room over there. It's a lock. You lock it from the inside. You can't get in if not. Just go in there, get some rest. And when you're ready to sing whatever, just give me a call. A studio bedroom, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? And if Toni Braxton were to come.
Oh, no.
And she was like, hey, Marlon, I would like to get some sleep before I do this song. I'm gonna say, get your ass out of here.
That's because you mad at her right now.
Messing with some goddamn bird. What kind of get out
Let's
of here.
Let's get back to at hand about
that's
the R.
damn bird, man. I might let her sleep in there. I might let her sleep in the other room, but ugh.
She lost the engagement ring. She good. She not. They broke up.
It doesn't matter. She got with him. And when I know the singers and entertainers that I'm attracted to. I would at least, whenever they hook up with somebody, I want to be with somebody cool. And it's not my business. It has nothing to do with me as far as what they do. It has nothing to do with me. They can do what they want to do. However, you still want to be with somebody that's cool or alright. You know what I'm saying? You don't want your crush to go out with Flavor Flav or Birdman.
Flavor Flav.
You don't want your crush being with Birdman. You don't want your crush tongue kissing Lil Wayne.
That's what I couldn't understand. Even though we're not gonna go there, when you mentioned that, that's what I had a problem with.
What? Kissing Lil Wayne?
Being with somebody who's been with Lil Wayne. Kissing Lil Wayne.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll
get back to what we was talking about.
We make a show about that. But anyway, so R. Kelly having a bedroom or two wasn't unusual. But they said he had multiple bedrooms.
Yeah.
He had naked girls and young girls in different ones. And like I say, I think Chicago, Illinois is 17. I think the age of consent is 17. If they're 17, that's his cup of tea. That's it's not mine. I don't get it. But
they were easy to manipulate.
But if they were 16 and 15 and 14,
that's too young. That's too young.
And it's bad.
That's
and it's
terrible.
illegal.
Yes.
It's illegal. So that's bad.
I think in his mind, these were women I can manipulate to do anything I want.
Of course.
Because older women, mostly, is not going to let a whole bunch of those things go down.
So he gets out of he gets out of the hood. He breaks out with all this music. He goes back to his old high school.
All right.
As an adult. So he's 24, 25, 26, and he's going back to the old high school looking for girls. Like he just left 8th period or something. Oh no, man, that is terrible.
And the principal sees him outside every day.
Yeah, so then he takes his little show across the street. I won't go to the school and talk to them. I stand over here and I catch them as they walk by. I can't go on their property. No, I can't spell it, but it's property.
In the mall.
And then when that gets too hot, he goes to the McDonald's and to the mall. So he's back and forth from McDonald's to the mall. And I think it's easy to be at McDonald's because you can treat them to something to eat. And it's easy to be at the mall because you can buy some tennis shoes, you can buy some lipstick, you can buy some earrings, some Claire. You can take them in the food court and get them some pretzels, some Aunt Annie's. So they're little things that high schoolers are turned on about. And like you say, he's married.
And it's easy.
And yeah, so he's married, but he's still going back to these little places, his little pick-me-up spots. This is some weird stuff. This is some weird stuff. And he needed therapy at 7, 8, 9, 10. But when you get in your 20s, that's an ass whooping or a bullet. People, the right fathers come across you. You get a bullet in your head or a bullet in your ass, and you get a bat to the head or bat to the arm or bat to the back, getting your legs broken. People ain't trying to play that. So,
and then he has children himself. You would think that would make him think about what he's doing.
I don't think he did at that point, but definitely now. But were these girls fatherless? Because some of the mothers are in on it, which is sad unto itself, as they say. And it's a different ways to look at it, because a lot of these mothers and grandmothers back in their day, they were getting married and doing all this kind of stuff at the age of 14 and 15. They were starting families. So some of them may not look at it as bad, and they may not look at it as bad if they are sold on the idea that he's going to help their career. Oh, mama, he said I can be a dancer for him. Oh, he want me to be in his video. He want me to say, all right, well, you go ahead over there, all right, and get your money, though. Make sure you get your money. And then. they may be in on it in that way.
Yeah, I mean that's the same thing that happened to your girl Tina Turner when she was on the review. When you got to go to the mama.
And she wanted to get out, yeah, and they wanted her to get. She wanted to break away from Nutbush, Tennessee. So she was ready to jump on any train, car, plane, bus, whatever, to get away. And hers was the Ike train. And that's what she took. But she knew what she was dealing with at a certain point. But so R. Kelly has a wife. He's abusive to her verbally, but he's nice and charming in the beginning.
Yeah.
And all upset, he's nice and charming. He buys him things. He makes him laugh. And then he starts putting them down a little bit and start putting these rules on them gradually. A little tiny rule here, tiny rule there. And after a while, you have a whole bunch of rules that you have to live by. And you're disconnected from your family. People can't talk to you. They're calling, they're not getting through. When they talked about his assistant bringing him phone messages on paper, this person had a phone call, this person, and either he could pass it to the girl, yeah, go call your mother, or he can just throw it away. If he throws it away, you don't know what he's throwing away. So that goes back to the bad part of being
controlling.
Right. So you had the girl in California who meets him on a set of Home Alone, which is the bomb song. See, he got all these bomb songs. When that song came out, I lost it because I'm a Keith Murray fan and the R. Kelly fan back then.
Yes.
And them two come together for the first single. Before the album even came out, that song came out. I was like, oh, when it first comes on, it's gonna be a party, y'all. Keith Murray rock. Doo, 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 doo. Oh my goodness. So I'm gassed up off of that, and then come to find out he got the little 15 to 16?
Yeah, 16.
15 or 16-year-old girl in that video. I wouldn't even look at the video the same, knowing that. And then out of the entire room, which had to be 99% woman, that molester or predator, he spots the one youthful. He probably see the innocence in her eyes. The opposite of what I look for when I see a woman is what he looks at.
Terrible.
Yeah, regular men, we look for an older, mature, wise woman. He's looking for, I don't want none of that.
Because he wants somebody to manipulate.
I want youth.
Yeah.
And I think it might be more than that. I think he wants the manipulation level, like you said, and somebody who can easily control. I think he wants a vagina, or somebody that hasn't had a lot of sex, or almost no sex, or none, or no sex at all. I think that may be his primary goal. I want virgins or people as close to being a virgin as possible. Because that would make sense.
I think you're right.
For molesters. You want them youthful.
Because most of them said R. Kelly took their virginity.
Prepubescent. That's a vocabulary word for some of y'all. And I said it around R. Kelly, like, okay, what does, say that again? Okay, sound it out. Prepubescent. But he went them girls that are barely.
Put it in a sentence.
Barely in, or barely beyond puberty.
They just got there.
I can't even imagine. Just go to a middle school and look at these 14, 15
half of them look really grown though right now. We talking about right now. Half of them like they should be in high school.
Yeah, but when you look them in their eyes and their mannerisms, you know it's young. It's something that you
and when you ask them a few questions, you know.
Yeah,
okay.
Their stance, the way they tilt their head, the way they talk. There's no way. It's not like somebody's giving R. Kelly fake ID.
Right.
As a matter of fact, you give him a fake ID, he don't want to be around you. You 18, man, get your ass away from me. But if your ass is 13, 14, well, now we're talking. I think you got potential. But so the girl in California, like I said, her mother, she said there's no stopping her. Her mother knew that there was no keeping her away from R. Kelly and her going to Chicago. Whatever state she was in, I'm just saying California. But she was not in Illinois, but she found a way to get to Illinois to be with him. Of course, he gives her a ticket or whatever, but she found her way to get on that plane or what have you. So her and the girl in Miami knew what they were getting into, but one was clearly underage, I believe. The second one from the Home Alone video. Clearly underage, so even if she knew what she was getting into, on his end, his ass should be locked up for that.
Correct.
And that's just for him kissing on her and touching on her. Then you add the sex to it. That's just years on top of years on top of years. And then you had the Aaliyah stuff on top of that.
Oh.
And then you got him, quote unquote, assaulting the girl. He jacked her up. I don't know if he hit her or whatever. So that's just 3 girls that we know about.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Sparkle's niece. Oh, Sparkle brings her 14-year-old niece around because she can rap really good. Brings her around to break into the music industry. She can be like a female Bow Wow.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, before she knows it, this little girl is making her way to R. Kelly's studio without her. So yeah, you bring, so just imagine that. You take your 14-year-old niece or little cousin or whatever, get her in the car, drive her all the way to R. Kelly's place. Put her ass back, and you there the whole time that he's there. You don't let her leave your side. Then y'all leave together. And 2 or 3 weeks later, you go to R. Kelly's studio, and your niece is already there. And she's been there. And who knows what they've been doing. And now your ass is stuck. Because you're like, damn, I did my part, but I introduced them. And now she up in here doing her own thing. Acting grown. Acting like Monica Calhoun in Players Club. Remember Lisa Ray's little cousin came? And next thing you know, she started going to private parties and hanging out with all the bad strippers and stuff. Yeah. So that's what we're working with. Part 1 and part 2.
Part 1 and 2.
Episodes 1 and 2 of Surviving R. Kelly. R. Kelly threatened to sue. A little too late for that. About 25 years late for that.
But they did ask for R. Kelly to comment, but he had no comments.
There's a lot of people.
And he wasn't going to say anything to it.
John Legend participated. I think they said Questlove.
But question: what was John Legend's position in this? Just to help the ladies?
He's Chicago.
Okay.
So he was around them.
So he was around R. Kelly during this time.
I don't know in how much in the 90s he was around him, but he's been around R. Kelly, and he's in that atmosphere. So in the music atmosphere, and I guess knowing who goes where and seeing R. Kelly here and that, or he's just supporting. But he's definitely connected with Chicago and the Chicago music scene.
Okay.
But episodes.
So it's 6 episodes in all.
3 and 4 come on tonight.
Correct.
And I will be watching.
And you know, if we're watching, you know what we're going to be doing next.
And you know
it's going to be on
Lyrics and Lies. But you know who else is tied into this? Our girl, or my girl, who was on R&B Divas. You want to play? You want to be the boss? Yeah, well, you gotta play the God. Yeah, well, what's her name? Johnson, Selena Johnson.
Oh, Selena.
So Selena Johnson was trying to break into music, and she was doing her thing. She did that hook on Kanye's album. She's not in Chicago.
Well, you know, if you looked at
hold on. No, I'm just saying that to make sure you understand what I'm talking about.
I know what song you were talking about.
All right. So when that was doing this thing, and Kelly knew she was making some noise and music, you know, doing the little hooks and background and stuff, she got the call from R. Kelly's assistant. R. Kelly wants you to come and sing tonight. She said, well, then she was like 2 hours away, 2 or 3 hours away. She said, well, I'm in such and such. I can't be. And he said, no, well, if you can't do it tonight, then, you know, that's it. That's all we can get you tonight. But if you don't perform tonight, then, hey, who knows? So she gets in the car with her husband. You hear that little curveball? Mm-hmm. She gets in the car with her husband, and they drive. They're like, this is a big break. You got to get there. Because the husband's like, nah, you ain't passing this up. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a singing? R. Kelly going to get you there. They drive there. Once they get there, they like, who is this? Why is he with you? Wait, no, we just thought you was coming by yourself. But they preferred the woman come by herself, and she looks sexy and thick, and they like, oh, we going, yeah. So R. Kelly is trying to do what he can with whoever he can, but she wasn't having it. Her husband wasn't having it, just like Sparkle wasn't having it. So tonight, parts 3 and 4.
Well, if you notice, your girl K. Michelle had also involvement in that happened to her. She spoke on that on her Uncensored.
Right.
So it has to be some truth to it if she's also come out, because he did the same thing with her and dangled the carrot. Even though she gave him his props of how he was with her and how he taught her a lot of things, but again, he dangled that carrot that you want me to, you want to be successful, blah blah blah. This is what you gotta do. But it's sad that people feel that they have to do certain things to become a superstar and not feel like on their own merit they can become that person, because these other people give them fake shortcuts to make it, knowing that you didn't have that same shortcut when you made it, but because you want what you want out the deal, this is what you're going to do to the women. And that's why the women said it was kind of hard for them to break in, because it's a man's business, because of what men do or have done to make it hard for them to get in or make them jump through these hoops, which are sexual hoops.
So did he make her jump through some sexual hoops?
Yeah, she
had sex with him?
She didn't go into certain things.
This is Kate Michelle.
But I think she did.
You think Kate Michelle had sex with her?
I think she did.
So, and this is serious. It may sound funny when I begin, but I'm serious when I say this. I was talking to somebody because when the girl from Miami said she wanted to be a singer and she was pursuing her career and felt R. Kelly could give her, like you say, the shortcut to get there. And it's really, I don't really want to say a shortcut, but it's really instant access to a person who's already
we'll use those words.
Right, but yeah. Or the hookup.
The hookup.
And she said that at one point, didn't she say he slapped her in the studio or something? They were in the studio and she looked at somebody or talked to somebody, and I think he smacked her or something. Mm-hmm. And she felt real bad. And he made her perform oral sex while in the car, while other people were in the car.
Just watching. Mm-hmm.
Now, this is serious. I mean this. I, at that moment, thought to myself, what if I were in a studio with Erykah Badu? Or since I'm a writer, and I'm out here writing books and screenplays, I'm with Angela Bassett. And Angela Bassett say, and I had to do that, that's why I say it may sound funny, but I'm serious. Because she's in the industry, and she's somebody I could really put into the situation to make sense of it. And she said, oh, hey, well, I really liked your book. I read Butter, I read Get Money, or whatever the next book is that I have coming out, or I saw your web series. I really want to work with you. I like your writing style, and I like this other style you did over here. And 2 or 3 months into it, she just smacked me a couple of times. What if, and this is a man being smacked by a woman, and I'm saying to myself, oh, hell no, she just smacked me a couple of times or whatever. But the other half of me is saying, just like these girls, but I'm that much closer to my dream. And as the Bassett says, she can get me a gig with writing for Spike Lee or writing for John Singleton or Tyler Perry or whatever. What do I do? What, because you can easily have your integrity. I ain't going to jack Angela Bassett up, but then again, she might like me to jack her up a little bit. Like, look here, you can be smacking me. You know what I'm saying? So I just grab her by her hand, like, you ain't gonna be smacking me that day. Just grab her hand, do that thing right there. And she may like this, say, oh, you stand up for yourself, but like that could have been a test. Or do I just sit back and say, oh, okay, I just take a back seat when she smacked me? Or do I walk out? So and this is me as a grown man, so at the age of 15 to 16 to 17, if I'm trying to be a rapper and MC Light smack the hell out of me, or Salt and Pepper smack me, am I going to walk the hell out? I don't think I would at 15, 16 to 17, because I still want to have sex with them, and I want to be a rapper. So I understand where these girls are coming from, and that's mental abuse, definitely verbal abuse.
It's all of them.
Yes, but I would be down for it, even though I'm below the age of consent. Even at 17, I'd be down for the 18.
But I'm trying to tell you, I already know this is the reason why he picks the young girls, because he already knows he can manipulate them in the way he wants them. He knows he can be very impressionable in their minds because he's older and they feel he's experienced. He got songs. He's a music genius. He's wrote for Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson. Sure did. So Celine Dion, all them.
But can Angela Bassett?
How did we get back to Angela?
I'm serious.
Still on Surviving R. Kelly.
Can she manipulate or control me now? Can she slap me or smack me in the studio?
I think so. We're talking about you, yeah. Probably so.
And what would I do? And that's just a question.
I think you would just enjoy the smacking because you would like it come from her.
I don't like being smacked.
It might be light.
I like her touching me, but light smack doesn't count. But I put myself in that scenario, so you put yourself in that scenario.
Who am I putting myself in
that scenario? Because you're a grown woman.
Okay.
And whoever your Hollywood or music crush is.
Who, Drake? Because that's what
No, seriously. I'm serious. Whoever your crush is right now, and say you were, and let's just throw you in as a backup singer, because I know you don't have any dreams of being Beyonce or anything. But I know at one point you probably said, well, I can sing, I can do some of the things that some of the, these singers can do. But say whomever, who's on that list you had? Not Chris Brown, because he's too young. Say Johnny Gill. Or Keith Sweat. All right, we just wrote with Keith Sweat. Tank. With Tank's, Tank's, yeah. So say Tank. Say, I want you to come along.
Because Tank seemed like he would be somebody who would do that too.
Be a backup singer. I hope not.
I hope not, but he seems he could be.
Went across the house and shot the Cross and Cavaliers, fellow Cavaliers. But say he said, I want you to come be a backup singer.
Sorry, Tank.
And we get you in there on the weekends, because I know you work during the week. But these gigs, it's going to be $5,000 a pop. And you're like, $5,000? He said, yeah, and 2 gigs over the weekend. So that's 2 shows over the weekend. And we do 2 shows, we do 4 shows a month. So I only need you for 2 days. And that's $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 per month that you gonna make. And you're like, damn, that sounds good.
Do it.
And after you get paid for 2 months, so you now have $40,000 in your pocket.
Hey.
And next thing you know, he just smacks you. You really do something in the studio. Say you spill water or you drop your drink near the board, near the engineering board, and mess up the track or whatever. They had to start the track over. And he really does smack you hard. I know you would go crazy on him and have a whole bunch of say to him and stand up to him. But beyond that, what would you do? Because in your mind, you like, this man just gave me $40,000. And I done did all types of stuff with that money. And the next 40 out, I'm looking forward to getting, because I have a car I want to get. I'm going to pay this off, or I'm going to be doing this. Or do you just say F you when you punch him when you walk out the door? And I'm not asking you exactly what would you do, but I'm saying when you're put in that scenario, even as an adult, it's not the easiest thing to walk away from. Now, some people say, well, that's my integrity, whatever. And some people say, it's just a smack. You know what I'm saying? Your mother whooped your ass a million times, your ass ain't run away. So
that's your mother. He ain't no parent.
Yeah, but she normally hits you more than once. Continuously. And you gotta sit there and take it. Be it a belt, switch, her hand.
I'm about to be like the girl on What's Love Got to Do If You only got hit me one side.
And you out.
Yeah, because first of all, that one hit is a start to more than just one hit.
Yeah, but what if you know it's never going to progress beyond
How do we know that?
No, I'm putting that here. No, now with R. Kelly is definitely more because it's the sexual abuse. But I'm just presenting the scenario to you. What if it's never more than a smack, and it's only one smack per month? I'm serious.
I'm serious. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
All right. So you can't.
No,
so you like I'm cashing out the 40 G's.
I'm cashing my 40s
right?
Because I'm not going to
stand. You gonna keep your integrity.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep standing for the smacks.
All right.
But unless I'm able to hit back, am I able to rough him off just like he roughed me off? Then no.
No. And that's something that you have to live with. And you're like, cool, I'm a grown woman, I ain't putting up with that. But some people are going to say, even as adults, they're going to say,
I'm going to put up with it.
Right.
Some would put up with it because they want that money.
But well, some people, they don't really need it, but it's quick. Mm-hmm. So just imagine that happened. There were 3 of y'all in the studio. You rolled out, but there's 2 other ones. And from time to time, you keep up with them or you see them around. And now this girl is like pushing a Range Rover and she has a Benz and they both paid for and she's getting a new house. She's like, girl, I've sung for this a whole year, 12 months straight, and I'm sitting on over 200 G's. And you like, if I could have just, not you, but some people like, damn, if I would have stayed a little longer, he ain't slapped that hard.
I can think about it. Oh, wasn't that bad?
Yeah, he swing like a bitch. I could have put up with that. 200 G's in the... So, just imagine somebody that's an early adult, 20, 21 years old, or 18, or what have you.
They probably would put up with it. Right.
And then you go below that to somebody who's not even of age.
Yeah, you would.
So that's even
you feel
worse.
Like this is what I'm supposed to do to get this money.
Right. So let's add the last part to it.
Oh, gosh.
These girls can't really come forward. They can come forward and put him on blast, but when they put him on blast, he can put their sexual escapades on blast because he's videotaping everything.
He did videotape them without their consent half the time.
So, well, no, with their consent.
Sometimes that one girl said she didn't even know he was taping.
But the other girl said he would walk by with the camera all the time. He would set the camera up. So, he has you naked. Then he has you having sex with him, and then he has you performing sexual acts on him. Then he has you performing same-sex acts or bisexual acts or whatever on the other people. He has all that footage, and he has not 1 video, but 2 videos and 10 videos. So some of these people are saying, well, I can't come forward because he'll leak that video. And then they'll say, either I'm embarrassed of what I did and I don't want people to see it, or they're going to say I was going along with it because of how much I was into it. And I don't want everybody to see me naked, and I don't want to be on the news, and I want my video to be bootlegged and all that kind of stuff. So there are multiple reasons why people came forward. But Sparkle
because of blackmail.
Yeah, but Sparkle put him on blast and brought everything forward. But the person she put on blast with him, her niece didn't come forward. And that's why nothing was done, because somebody said somebody came forward, but he was found not guilty. I said, no, there were no people to come forward. There were witnesses and there were testimony, but the actual there were no victims. So you quote unquote had a victimless crime. Y'all, he molested this girl, he did this and he did that. Okay, where's the girl? I don't know. Well, if she's a ghost, if she's not here, we need her here. We need to hear what she has to say. So that's too much for me to handle.
It's a whole lot. I mean, to think about, to swallow, because we know the reason why people don't come forward. And you always hear people say, I don't understand why people waited so long to come forward. There's different reasons why people waited. Like a big star like R. Kelly, I mean, look how long this has been going on. You know, and like you said about the hush money that his wife had. My thing is, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, you don't need to pay nobody else. But that you're doing something to these women. You're making them feel a certain way. You're making them feel that you're going to get them things. And you dangle that carrot.
That's legal.
And he dangled that carrot in front of everybody.
And all that's legal. But the underage stuff and the abuse stuff, the physical abuse stuff, is illegal.
And mentally abusing.
Mental abuse is legal, but that's legal.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's a lot for one person to go through. Is mental, physical,
emotional,
and emotional abuse. That's a lot, especially for a 16-year-old who hasn't had a chance to really live. All they know is R. Kelly,
and that's nasty. If it gets to physical, like rape and sex, all that's nasty. That's disgusting.
That's a lot. That's a lot to live with. That's a lot to carry. That's a lot.
And that's torture on the fans because you got us hooked on your music and all that.
I know, on the fans who loved you. And I'm one fan who always lifted R. Kelly's music and a couple of music. I can't believe you. You know what he's done. This is before it came out to the multitude that it came out to. I was like, I'm not negating that, but you have to give props where props is due. R. Kelly made some artistically. R. Kelly is good. I mean, that song that he did for Michael Jackson sounds like Michael. It sounded like a Michael Jackson song. He played on that like he played on these women. So everything he did in the music world, he also did in his personal life. So it mirrored, his life mirrored each other.
That's where the art comes from. Real stuff.
And he had good music. I guess he had a lot of material, and I'm not trying to be funny, but he had. Most of that stuff that's happened, especially they was really talking about that 12-play album.
Yeah. Seems like you're ready.
Hey, a little bump and grind.
That's easy, but that's going to be adult.
12-play, the song.
Adult. That's adult, but that seems like you're ready.
Seems like you're ready.
I mean, you ain't of age, but it seems like you're
ready. Because if you listen to the words of that song, I make you think them. Wait a minute, hold up. How old are you?
Is she 13 or 14 or 15? You're saying, yeah, but she's acting older. Yeah. And she's acting frisky and fast. So, what they used to say, is that what the parents used to say back in the day? She's a little fast tail.
She's smelling herself.
She's fresh, acting fresh. She's acting fresh, a little fresh self.
Or smelling herself.
So we'll get into more. So,
and the slow jam song.
Surviving R. Kelly Part 1. There's a lot to deal with. So
Part 1 and 2. We will be back with y'all though when we follow up on the other episodes.
And we'll be back. So y'all check out Part 2.
All right. So we had a lot of lies here, no lyrics.
We had some lyrics.
We had a drop of lyrics.
The bomb lyrics. Shoot, the bomb lyrics.
Mean, we did because R. Kelly has the bomb lyrics.
The bomb lyrics.
So you're right.
So it's lyrics and lies.
And lies and lyrics.
And a whole bunch of nastiness and disgusting stuff.
And smacking.
Smacking people. And Ann Sebastian to smack me, and I don't know what I would quite do yet.
I think you take it. But anyway, we're going to move on and say that for another day.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to roll out of here. All right, I'm out. That's Shay's on the mic and that Money Green